Hey YouTubers, and this is a really quick response video from Mike from Laughingstock Media. He did a really great discussion video with Geekdom 101 about whether or not Dragon Ball Super should redo Dragon Ball GT storylines. And I'm just gonna get right into here. I know what they were talking about was overarching themes that happened in GT can kind of be translated into Super, and we could see Toriyama's kind of vision or ideas of how to take these certain story elements. He's not talking about taking, literally reintroducing the Tuffles or the Hell Saga or Super 17 or anything, but just overarching themes. And in that cuff, I think that one thing I would really like to see is, instead of taking the Tuffles or the Saiyans or anything like that, we can actually take that same storyline and use it with the Namekians. One thing we do know about Universe 6 and 7 is that they're mirror images of each other. And we know that Saiyans are good in Universe 6 while they're evil in Universe 7. Frieza's race is good in Universe 6 while he's evil in Universe 7. Whatever we know, we don't know really much about that, but we do know that is a certain fact. And if there are Namekians in Universe 6, which a lot of people are speculating there are, I believe that they would be evil in that sense if the same rules hold true for one reason or another. And the way I would kind of take the same Tuffle Baby redemption arc from Baby or the revenge or whatnot is that we do know that Champa was saying that the Namekians eventually took their power from the Super Dragon Balls. They carved it off and retook the power. And we do know two very specific things about the Namekians, or three even, that would kind of help progress this theory even forward. Is one, Namekians are asexual and they reproduce themselves, and that kind of weakens them as they go. We saw that with Guru in Universe 7. And secondly, we know that Kami and him before, they can take themselves and split themselves up between good and evil entities and be a completely separate being. And then we also know that there are two different types of Namekians. They have the warrior class and the dragon class, and the dragon class can take Dragon Balls and recreate Dragon Balls from one thing to another. We saw that with Kami, we see that with Dende and Guru, but we also know that Piccolo himself doesn't necessarily have that ability, neither does Nail or anyone else, and we don't necessarily know what constitutes or how they're born or whether what happens and why they were able to be that way. But anyway, I think it would be really interesting in terms of taking the whole idea of a redemption arc and trying to get revenge on something that you feel you were denied your birthright by a malevolent being or so. Something like Baby thinks that the Saiyans are malevolent because he took away the birthright of the Tuffles and wants to get revenge. I think it would be really interesting if they would flip that on its head and do an evil Namekian who is mad that he was denied the right to actually have the ability to make Dragon Balls after stealing it. Because of whatever reason, you have one Namekian at the very beginning who finds one of the Super Dragon Balls, be it the 4th Dragon Ball, because that's the one that's not found, and that's the one that's iconic to the entire series. One Namekian carved off, was cursed, split into two, went into two separate universes where you had the good ones in Universe 7 and the bad ones in Universe 6. And I think it would be really more interesting if the bad one is still alive to this day and is kind of godlike, because we don't know why Kami and Dende and all them are able to get god power so easily. Whether there's a certain thing in Earth that kind of sets that up, or if they're just naturally kind of, adhering to it, they can just do that naturally because whatever reason, Namekians have been around forever. They know about everything. They have a Namekian Book of Legends. What if for whatever reason Dende and Kami and all them could become gods of Earth because they have a natural tendency to be gods because they were gods or they were something close to it, or just an incredibly powerful race. And in Universe 6, there's just this guy lurking around who's the first half of that stuff, and he's just so powerful that no one can stand up to him. And I feel that is one of those things that would be very, very interesting going forward. Anyway, if you like this content, if you like anything about what I'm saying right now, I'm just really off the cuff. It's not anything I've ever really planned out. I didn't write any scripts. I didn't, just something that was completely off the cuff of my mind. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. If you liked what I had to say, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and have a nice day, everybody.